What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to today's video where I'm going to be discussing the top 5 most underrated games that I know of. Because let's face it, there are a lot of games out there. There's a lot of content and there's a lot of things to play, but we don't really talk about things that are underrated, well, because they're underrated. And I feel like these games need to be more brought up into the game conversation, depending on what circles you're discussing, but depending on what Twitter or Reddit thread you're in, these games are not going to be really as much discussed, and it's unfortunate. So the first one we're going to dive into, because I feel like these two games I'm going to lump as number 1 for right now, and it's Bloodrayne 1 and Bloodrayne 2. These two games were a part of my childhood, even though I didn't get to play them when I was a kid, because technically I wasn't allowed to, but I was allowed to play Resident Evil 1 Remake. It was really interesting to me because I was like, oh my god, you know, we're killing Nazi zombies and everything like that. Yes, of course we want to kill Nazi zombies. Why wouldn't we? It's a parental dream come true. Your child is off to a great start at 10 years old killing Nazi zombies. As a 30-year-old, I get it, but when I was 10 years old, I just wanted to kill the zombies. It wasn't until I was doing my thesis for college on the psychology of the history of vampires that I was even diving in to Bloodrayne. And whenever I first dove into it on Steam and I was playing through it, I'm like, oh my god, these graphics are awful, but this is so freaking adorable. So yes, this game, both of these games, Bloodrayne 1 and 2, need to be numero uno. Number 2, because it's just not talked about enough. I don't care what gaming circle you're in, I'm not seeing this game being talked about enough. Fran Bow. Fran Bow is just absolutely iconic. I believe it came out mid to late 2016, and it was one of just the epitomes of every gaming YouTuber back at that time. They were all playing it, everyone was really getting immersed into it, and then it just dipped off into nowhere, and it makes me really sad because that game is absolutely priceless. The psychology, the immersion of storytelling, the way in which you have dual worlds combined, it's just so freaking good. Mwah, mwah, chef's kiss all around. Next up, a game that is short, sweet, and to the point that everyone should know about is Neverending Nightmares. Neverending Nightmare is also another indie horror game that everyone should be talking about. It is so good. I feel if I tried to describe Neverending Nightmares to you guys, I would just ruin the story. So just play it for yourselves. Trust me on this one, it's really, really good. So this next game I'm going to mention, it is an intense one, and it comes with a trigger warning because there's a lot of intense topics that come with this game. Remothered, Tormented Fathers. It has a lot of stuff, and even has a character that is based off of the one from Silence of the Lambs. So there's a lot that goes into this, a lot of psychology. There is actually the psychology of dissociative identity disorder in this game. So please be prepared for triggering topics that if you are not prepared will really catch you off guard in a lot of cases. It's a very interesting game. It goes back and pays homage to like old school Resident Evil. It's worth your time and investment. And another one that I feel like just does not get the hype it deserves is Arya. Arya is I believe a Thai indie game. I think it was based in Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong within the video, but this game, it's so good. It's very immersive. It's really spooky. It's a short indie game. It deals with several different chapters that, I mean, like for me personally, I love chapter-based games. So whenever I dive into a game and it has chapters, I'm just like, yes, that's awesome. Like for me, just linear games are the way to go. Like I love a good open world game, but linear games just creme de la creme. If it's a linear game and it's got a good story and it's got good gameplay and immersive audio design, oi. Arya just, it really puts the player in horrifying circumstances, and I think it's so good. It has different types of puzzles, it has different unique just sound design sets, it has really immersive points of where you think that you're in Silent Hill basically, and it just, oh my god, it's just so good. But those are my top 5 most underrated games, and I really feel like you guys just needed to know about these. They're a necessity if you want to be classified as a good gamer. But you guys, that was it for me for this video. If y'all like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. I make videos every day here on YouTube. May you find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, you guys.